It's been a really long time since Silksong was announced. It was announced way back in 2019, but we still don't have a proper release date or any other further information. But in this video, I'm gonna tell you all the things we know so far about Silksong and its contents, from the lore to the maps, and from the characters to the metaphysics. To understand the metaphysics of Silksong, we will try to compare them to the metaphysics of the original Hollow Knight game. The main mechanic of the original Hollow Knight game was Soul, of course, which was used to attack enemies, use the abilities Abyss, Shriek, Descending Dark and Vengeful Spirit, and also used to heal the player. And the main weapon used for melee attacks was the nail, which could be upgraded later on with the help of Geo and some pale ore. The health of the knight was represented by mass shards, which were 5 at the beginning, but they also could be upgraded to 9 till the end of the game by collecting mass shards, which were scattered all over the map of Hallownest. The main currency unit of the Kingdom of Hallownest, which we were playing in the original Hollow Knight game, was called Geo, but it will also be replaced by another currency in the Kingdom of Silksong. Used to get Geo by either killing enemies or hitting a nail on certain Geo deposits found on various parts of the map. When we used to die, the knight used to leave a shade which could later be killed to get the Geo back which we collected without losing a single Geo. Now let's talk about Silksong and how its metaphysics work in comparison to Hollow Knight. As you can see on the top left, the mass shards get replaced. Well, not exactly they're replaced or something, but they look slightly different as compared to the mass shards of Hollow Knight. Another thing that we can notice is that Hornet has different character physics than the Knight, probably because she is very big as compared to the Knight from the original game. The nail gets replaced by a very long needle that we also saw in the Hornet fight in the original game. The first fight was relatively easy, but the Hornet Sentinel fight took me around 2 to 3 days to beat her. Probably because Hornet Sentinel was a lot faster and there was wind blowing all over the screen, so it was very difficult to see her movements. The main mechanic which gets replaced is the soul, which gets replaced by Silk in Silksong, which is the main theme of the game, Silk and Song. However, we get Silk the same way as we used to get Soul in Hollow Knight. We kill enemies and we find Silk deposits found throughout the map of Farloom. Another major difference that you can see on the screen that Hornet can heal a lot faster than Knight. When we used to heal in the Hollow Knight, we used to heal 1 mass shard at a time. Hornet can heal 3 silk columns at a single time, which will make the game very efficient and easier. The monetary currency of the Kingdom of Farloom, which is the kingdom which we will be playing in Silksong, is called Rosaries, and we collected the same way we used to collect Geo. The major difference in the metaphysics is that in Silksong, there are no charms, but they get replaced by tools, which work on shell shards, which can be found in various ways in the Kingdom of Farloom. I kind of have a mixed opinion on tools, which I can be cleared about when I play the actual game. I still can't say anything about it, because I don't know much about how they work and all. Now let's compare the maps of both the games. One of the best things I like about Hollow Knight is the map of the game. It's not a small map, it's very huge. The Kingdom of Hallownest is covered with vast geographical areas, really nice NPCs, and a very large variety of enemies that you can kill to fill the Hunter's General. We have really dark areas like the Abyss, and then a city where it's raining 24/7, and also Kingdom's Edge, which gives us a glimpse of the outside world. As we progress through the game, we form a sense of belongingness to the places. For example, take Dirtmouth. It's the first area that we go to after beating the tutorial, and it almost feels like we are going to home after beating a certain area. There's something about Dirtmouth that differentiates it with the rest of the areas. It feels like home for some reason which I can't explain in words. Even just standing there with the noise of the wind blowing makes me want to imagine things I have never imagined. No pun intended, by the way. Places like the Abyss and Ancient Basin kind of creeps me out because of the emptiness they present and the OSTs that are playing in the background. Well, they aren't actually OSTs, they are just the noises of wind blowing, and for some reason it blends in with the atmosphere. Even to this day, the map feels kind of fresh because there are areas that you haven't explored, like the Land of Storms. Talking about Silksong, we don't really have an idea of what the map will look like, but we do have some information. Like in Hollow Knight, we were going down under the world from Dirtmouth to the Abyss, which was situated at the deepest level of Hallownest. But in Silksong, we will be going upwards. We start from Moss Grotto, which is the first area of the game, can be compared to Dirtmouth or King's Pass from the original Hollow Knight game. Then we will be ascending in the world of Farloom, which is the kingdom we will be traveling in Silksong. The final area of the game is called Shining Citadel, and it sounds interesting to me. I don't know about you. Below the Shining Citadel is situated the Citadel base, where we will be fighting an enemy called Seth. Not an enemy, but actually it's a boss battle. The largest area of the game is called Greymoor, and it's probably bigger than City of Tears from Hollow Knight. It has been said that it's the biggest area that Team Cherry will ever create. Gives me the vibes of Ancient Basin and the Resting Grounds if they were combined into a single level. The Shining Citadel, on the other hand, will probably be very vibrant and shining, as the name says, and as you can see in the picture, it looks very good and appealing. I hope in the final game they slightly improve. Overall, the map of Silksong will be much larger than Hollow Knight, at least from the leaks we know. Talking about the plot, I am not going to explain the plot of Hollow Knight. There are several videos that you can watch, 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long, to understand the whole lore of Hollow Knight. About the lore of Silksong, this game takes place in a kingdom called Farloom, and it's different from Hallownest. The kingdom of Farloom is ruled over by two forces called Silk and Song, as the game suggests. Just like Hallownest, it is said to have a whole civilization which we still don't know about. Maybe when the game comes out, actually it probably used to have a large amount of flora and fauna. It probably had a peak time, and then it slowly started to degrade, and then the civilization came to an end. There's actually a opening poem type of thing which can be seen in the starting of the game or the intro sequence. It is known as Farloom's Folly. If we talk about the NPCs, there are a large number of NPCs available in Silksong, probably more than the number of NPCs in Hollow Knight. The map guy will be called Shagra and will be the equivalent of Conifer from Hollow Knight. His design looks much better to me and cooler than compared to Conifer, and also the number of enemies will be larger. The footage that you saw in this video was actually the demo gameplay. There's a chance that the final game will look slightly different or much different from the demo. We can't actually predict how the final game will look like because Team Cherry is taking a lot of time and we still don't have a release date. So you can tell how hard they're working. So I hope the final game stands out at the expectations or even exceed it. That was all for today. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for such Hollow Knight content. I'll meet you some other day. Till then, have a great time and goodbye.